Number 3. Josef Mengele, the Angel of Death. It's Auschwitz-Birkenau, May 1943. A train pulls into the camp carrying hundreds of prisoners from across occupied Europe. They've been packed into cattle cars for days with no food, no water, barely enough air to breathe. The doors finally slide open, and SS guards immediately start screaming at everyone to get out and form lines. After days in darkness, the prisoners stumble into the light, disoriented, terrified, not knowing what's about to happen. At the end of the platform stands a young SS officer in an immaculate uniform. He's wearing white gloves. He's whistling a tune by Wagner. He looks almost friendly. His name is Dr. Josef Mengele, and he's about to decide who lives and who dies. Selection was a simple process. Mengele would look at each prisoner for maybe a second or two, then point. Left meant labor. You'd be worked to death over the next few months, but you'd live for now. Right meant immediate death in the gas chambers. The old, the young, the sick, pregnant women, anyone who looked too weak to work. Right. Most people's fate was sealed in about 30 seconds. But there was one group Mengele always pulled aside personally. Twins. Josef Mengele was absolutely obsessed with twins. As a physician and geneticist, he believed that studying identical twins was the key to unlocking the secrets of human genetics. If he could figure out what made twins identical, maybe he could crack the code on how to mass-produce the perfect Aryan race. Blonde hair, blue eyes, strong bodies, all of it on demand. Heinrich Himmler loved this idea. So Mengele was given unlimited resources, an endless supply of human subjects, and complete freedom to do whatever he wanted. What followed was the darkest chapter of medical history. Mengele kept his twins in special barracks. Separated from the rest of the camp, they got better food, they didn't have to do hard labor. The children even called him Uncle Mengele because he would bring them candy and chocolates. He'd pat them on the head and smile. He seemed kind. He seemed like he actually cared about them. Then the experiments began. Mengele injected chemicals directly into children's eyes, trying to change their color from brown to blue. When that didn't work, he tried different chemicals, and different ones after that. Children went blind. Some died from infections. Mengele just made notes and moved on to the next pair. He had plenty more twins to work with. He sewed twins together back to back, trying to surgically create conjoined twins. The children screamed in agony for days before dying of gangrene. He injected twins with diseases, typhus, tuberculosis, malaria, then killed them at different stages of infection so he could compare how their organs responded. He performed surgeries without anesthesia, just to document how the human body reacted to pain. Not because anesthesia wasn't available, he just wanted to see what would happen. And here's the worst part. When one twin died, Mengele would immediately kill the other one, sometimes with a chloroform injection straight to the heart, so he could perform side-by-side autopsies while both bodies were still fresh. An estimated 3,000 twins passed through Mengele's hands at Auschwitz. Fewer than 200 survived. And now for the part that still makes people's blood boil 80 years later. Josef Mengele was never punished. Not even a little bit. When the Soviets liberated Auschwitz in January 1945, Mengele was already long gone. He'd fled west, gotten captured by American forces, and then, here's the kicker, he was released. Somehow, nobody realized they had the Angel of Death in custody. His name was on wanted lists everywhere, and they just let him walk out. For the next 34 years, Mengele lived as a free man. He moved to Argentina, then Paraguay, then Brazil. He worked as a farmhand. He went swimming at the beach. He probably read about himself in the newspaper. Israeli intelligence came close to catching him several times, but always arrived just a little too late. On February 7, 1979, Josef Mengele went swimming at a beach in Bertioga, Brazil. He suffered a stroke in the water and drowned. He was 67 years old. He died a free man, having never spent a single day in prison for torturing and murdering thousands of children. His remains weren't even confirmed until 1985, when his body was finally exhumed and identified through dental records. For years after the war, survivors of his experiments had testified at trials, pointing at photographs, describing in horrifying detail exactly what he'd done to them. And the whole time, Mengele was living under a fake name in South America, completely untouchable. The world couldn't even give his victims the satisfaction of seeing him face justice. So there you have it. 3 doctors who took their medical training and used it for the exact opposite of what it was meant for. Holmes turned murder into a real estate investment. Petiot turned genocide into a get-rich-quick scheme. And Mengele turned children into lab rats. The next time you're sitting in a doctor's office, try not to think about any of this. Actually, you know what? I'm sure your doctor is totally normal. Probably.